What's up, Facebook world? I'm here with a legend in the game, one of my favorite people in the world, representing One Night Stands Comedy Club in Waterford, Michigan, one of the premier places to catch comedy, one of the best wait staffs, one of the definitely the kindest staff, great lighting, great sound. They know what they're doing there. Introducing winner of the Las Vegas Comedy Festival, Mike Green. How you doing?
Hi, Mike. Good to see you,
It's
man.
it's good to see you too. This is nice. I love the stage. I love the view you got there, the nice upshot.
Yeah, I'm
Let
actually
everybody.
on stage. I'm on stage right now.
Yeah, this is exciting, man. This is you guys are the first club to headline me in Michigan, and I'm coming back. I think this is my fourth time, third or fourth time headlining there,
Yeah,
and we got the wonderful, hilarious Kara Karachi coming to feature, and Jimmy Dunsmore he will be hosting. Let's see, if we got any comments here,
yeah.
and if
Jim
you got.
Daddy Dunsmore. Jim Daddy Dunsmore. He looks
uh,
like Santa in a kilt.
Yeah, and that's pretty much his gig there. He's
That's
a
right.
professional Santa Claus,
Yes.
and uh a very keen kilt wearer. I don't think it matters what time of year it is.
I'm pretty sure no underwear. I don't know
N-
for sure, but if I had to guess, I'm guessing no underwear.
So if you're watching at home, make sure you get front row seats so you can get a little up
Gross.
kilt peek. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
Get your drink stirred.
Yeah, I think he just has like really strong legs and he likes to show them off. That's like
That's
his whole deal.
Oh, that makes sense because you wouldn't catch me dead in a kilt.
Yeah, me either. I gotta get these chicken legs worked out before I put them on display like that. There's
That's
just
right.
no way. So you've been working the club for a while. How long you guys been open for?
Since October 2018. So this is our anniversary was just at the beginning of this month, 6 years.
Holy moly, does it feel like time is just flying? Like
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah,
in when you got into this, because you're a pro. You've been traveling the country for a long time, and I feel like this is kind of a nice way to stay home, like close to the family, make money doing comedy, still do comedy.
yeah.
Um, what what's been your favorite part of the transition from a pro comic to a general manager of one of in my opinion, one of the best clubs there is?
Be not being in hotels. I was in hotels for 37 years. Living out of hotels and suitcases and I do that about maybe 10 times a year now. So it's
Yeah,
it's nice to dial that back.
yeah, you can be much more selective with your gigs when you got work in your house.
For
This is
sure.
your home now.
Yeah,
Um,
let's see, I have one, two, three, uh, four gigs between now and February or March. So, not a ton of work. I don't have to go on the road much. I get to be here at the club and yeah, we have a great staff. Everybody's so cool. I feel like they're family and I have a lot of fun here.
yeah, and sometimes the audience gets a little treat, and you do a guest spot, and you bring a hot seven, and people are like, "What the heck? This
Yeah.
guy just brought the heat right in front of the feature." You know,
Yeah.
Kara
Yeah.
Karachi might be pulling their armpits, sweating a little bit.
Well,
If you do that.
I usually try to go after the feature, but I don't, but I don't know where to go. I hate to do it, but I don't do it that often. I really don't, but I have to because I'm getting ready to film a special and stuff. So
Oh, that's awesome. Where are you filming it?
yeah, it's actually in Butte, Montana that I'm filming it. It's called Big Stars in Small Towns, and it's going to be on Netflix. And they
Really?
they're like so I go around the town and I'm going to get like we're going to a brothel museum and stuff like that during the day, and then going in a mine, a copper mine during the day, and we're gonna like try to be funny and film stuff all day, and then that night we do a show in this really old, I think it's like 1890s. The theater was built in like 1890, and everybody in town, everybody in Butte, Montana comes, and then we raise money for a charity.
Wow, wow,
Yeah,
Mike, congratulations
yeah,
getting your Netflix credit. Look at you.
yeah.
We're gonna have to pry you out of your home and put you back on the road, dude.
I don't know, man. That'd be tough.
We got somebody popping in. Juan saying LOL. Shout out to Juan. He came to my show in Jackson. I appreciate you, homie. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments for Mike, definitely ask him. Here's Juan. He's chipping in here. Can't wait to watch that on Netflix. When does it come out?
Don't know. I know I'm shooting it. I want to say I think it's first weekend of February. First week in February is when I'm shooting it, and then it'll after they edit it. There's 10 comedians booked right now. I know one of them's Rocky Laporte, and one of them's Greg,
Oh,
and they just got Adam Carolla as one, and
nice.
I forget they got a bunch of big names. Like I'm probably small potatoes out of the list, but yeah,
Well, I love all three of those guys.
yeah,
I've been lucky to uh do a guest spot for Greg Morton before he got famous in
yeah,
Lansing at not Connections but the Trippers when that club that was there for a hot second, and then Rocky got to open up for him at the State Theater, and he's a fantastic guy. So
yeah. They're both great,
you're
funny dudes.
you're in a great company. That's gonna be awesome. And man, this is nice. I'm like pumped for you. I didn't even know anything about that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I kind of we just worked out the details, so we don't even have the charity picked yet. I have four to choose from. I gotta read through them and see which charity I'm picking.
yeah,
One was like a cow rescue or something. I
yeah,
might go with that.
that'd be a good one, a cow rescue, and then
Yeah,
there's a follow-up episode where you're rescuing the cows.
right.
Like,
That'd be
like
great. Yeah,
these cows are in depression. You're just telling them jokes.
that's right. That's right.
You just utterly undeniable, Mike Green. I
Yeah,
like it. I'll be the intro guy.
right.
Um, Cameron Callum saying save the heifers,
That's
and
right. That's it.
yeah,
That's right.
Cameron, up and coming comic, working her ass off. I see her posting her shows all the time, so that's great. Proud of you. Keep working it out there. What being a GM and a booker of a club, what do you look for in the comics that you are booking? I see that you have a bunch of great comics coming up. Dave Landau, and I seen Carlos Mencia, which is in the comedy world is controversial, but I figure
Yeah.
he's going to sell the place out.
It's the
Um,
funniest story, man. I remember I was golfing with Mark Ridley, who owns the Comedy Castle, and Les McCurdy, who owns McCurdy's in Florida, and we were golfing in Florida when I was on the road, touring, and they were both talking about booking Carlos Mencia, and I was as a comic, I was like, man, you guys are dirty pricks. Why would you do that to the industry? Like you're so shitty. And I go,
uh-oh.
not for he's known for
We flip sides.
stealing material. Did you switch me?
No, I didn't switch you. You like glitched out, and then you just wanted to be on the other side. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
I wanted to move.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was like, what? God, what? I don't really get that. I didn't really understand it. Well, now I'm booking a club, and I'm like, I'm booking him. He's gonna sell
Yeah.
tickets, so you know,
I'm sure it'll be a great night. And
yeah,
actually, I met Carlos Mencia a long time ago at Connections, and um I think it was after everything happened, and he's actually the nicest guy
of course,
ever, and talked to me about comedy, and kind
yeah,
of broke it down in a real scientific way, which was, nice to see his point of view. And I don't know. Meeting him, he's nice. I don't know about the other accusations.
yeah.
Juan said, laugh my ass off. He's having a good time. Thanks for watching. We're doing PBS numbers right now. We're at 5 whole live viewers. But the
Oh,
whole
they'll
thing is,
come. Oh, listen,
they're
once you
coming.
post it, oh, they're gonna come. We'll get
Yeah, I mean,
hundreds. You know what I'll do is, can you tag my page in it or?
yeah, I can tag you. I'll tag you on my Facebook in the comments.
Yeah,
And
be sure. And that way, we'll maybe get some of my viewers as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And we'll share
Who's
it on the club's page as well.
who is your favorite person that you've booked for the club besides myself?
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, the thing is, it's hard to find. What I'm looking for is comedians who can sell drinks, sell tickets, be funny, be on time, and be nice to my staff. And you'd be surprised if you knew how hard that is to
To
find
get
people
to get
who can
all
meet
of them.
those five criteria. Yeah, because we've had guys who sell the place out and sell coffee and pop all night. I mean, nobody drinks. And then we've had guys who sell a ton of drinks, but they're not funny, or a ton of tickets and they're not funny, or they're used to be famous and they're kind of dicks to my staff or whatever. I mean, it's just it's such a you wouldn't think it would be that hard, but it is. And I only book, like I always try to explain to comics, I only have like 48 weeks a year when we're doing comedy shows. This, that's and so I only need 48 headliners, 48 middle acts, and 48 MCs. I mean, but I get 600 emails a week from comics saying, "Hey, can I work your club?" And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
That's the
Can you?
funniest thing. When you gave me your email, you said, "Do not give this to anyone."
Yeah, yeah, because it's brutal. I mean, if I give my personal email or my personal cell number, if that gets out, it gets ugly.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of people that were maybe difficult to work with, and I think we may have talked about this before, was Gallagher one of those people that were kind of a pain in the ass?
Oh, he was the worst. He was absolutely the worst, man. We had him in, and he was on the other side of it. He was seemed to be quite a little bit down on his luck, man. He was looked like he was living out of his car, and he came in, got here at 4:30 in the afternoon for a 8 o'clock show, and he put a kielbasa in his pants at 4 in the afternoon because for a bit that he was doing at 8:30, and dude, he was such a dick. He like fired the opening act. He said, "I don't need an opening act," and
Oh no.
then he made my staff move all the chairs so they were facing the stage. He didn't think our audience would be smart enough to know they could turn their chairs, and he wanted to. He's like, let me drink your soda. I want to see if it's any good. Most clubs have crappy soda, and he drank it. And he goes, "Oh, this is all right. Okay, I can deal with this." And
You
then
passed the soda test.
he said, "What kind of idiot set this room up?" That's what he
And
said to me.
you're the guy that set the room
I go,
up.
I set it up. He goes, "Yeah, you club owners don't know anything about comedy."
Well,
And
that's
I
like,
was like, I go, "I don't know. I did stand up for 37 years. I got a pretty good idea how it goes." And he was a total dick. And then do you know who's the I can't think of the middle act. God dang it, I'm having a brain fart. But the middle act was uh, I'll think of it. Anyway, uh, he goes, "I don't want a middle act." So I go, "Let me go call the agency because they hired Ziggy Klett." It was Ziggy. You know
oh,
Ziggy.
Ziggy. Yeah, I
Yeah, it
know
was
Ziggy.
Ziggy Klett. So Ziggy was the opening act. He had driven, whatever, 45 minutes, an hour to get here. And I go, "Well, they booked a middle act. You got to have an opener." So I go to call the agency. I'm in my office. I walk out of my office, and Ziggy's on one side of the room, and Gallagher's on the other side of the room. And Ziggy said, "And that's why you're a washed up MNFer who can't sell out Waterford on a Thursday." And I was like, "Oh, okay, Ziggy's not opening for him." So,
Yeah, oh, they talked. Yeah, they talked before. That's
oh yeah,
funny.
they had a fight, man, and Ziggy stood up for himself, but Gallagher wasn't having. Anyway, long story, even longer. End of the night, I go to pay him. He said I can't pay him. He's got trouble with the IRS. I got to pay his daughter. I go, the agency didn't tell me that. And I said, all right, well, then I guess we're done here. I go, last thing. And I'm leaving out some very big details that were like just him screwing with us. But ultimately, I go, I guess we're done here. And I go, but will you sign my wall? All the comedians who come in sign the wall. And he goes, I'm not. I'm not signing that piece of crap wall. Every crappy, he was using much worse words, but he was like,
Yeah,
every piece of crap comedian in the world signs that wall. And
that's
I was like,
hilarious.
that's when I was like, all right, I guess we're done here. And I went in, I walked in the front door and I went to lock the door. And he goes, oh, dude, you didn't tell me where the hotel is. And I go, you don't want to stay in the hotel. Every piece of crap comedian stays in the hotel. And I locked him out.
Oh, good, good, good.
Yeah.
That's that's hilarious. I could just imagine him looking at the wall, and he's like, "Who the fuck is Mike Ball? I'm not signing next to this guy.
Oh, look at
This
me. I'm
piece
trying
of
to be all
shit."
clean. And you're like, you
Oh, I'm
dropped the F
sorry.
bomb. I didn't
Oh, I'm
know.
sorry.
I didn't know
No,
if I could.
it's Facebook. I'm sure it's gonna. It's Facebook, YouTube,
Yeah.
and the future. I tried. I'm really trying to clean up my f bombs, but
Yeah.
they're just a part of my language. You know, they're.
Yeah.
Um, I heard a funny story about. Oh, I had actually the opposite experience as Gallagher. I did a show, and I'm not gonna say which club it was or where it was at, but I did the show.
I'll say which club after you tell me the story.
Oh,
I'll
well,
guess.
so
I'll guess.
I, I did a show, and the first Friday night went really great. It was awesome, and then second night, I'm like maybe 5 minutes into my act, maybe, and somebody was vaping, and the owner of the club comes into the showroom, yells at him, and is like, "What kind of idiot vapes in the showroom?" And like yells at him, like right in the middle of my show, and
Ugh.
it was loud. It was like it was like mom hit dad right in the middle of the whole show, and the whole thing was awkward. So
Yeah.
I had to make some jokes about it, right? And I just riffing, going back and forth. I get the crowd back on my side. It goes great. Some guy tips me $500, which never happens. He was like a crypto millionaire or something. He's like,
Right.
here's $500. I'm like, hell yeah! And I go to sign the wall, right? I'm like I want to sign the wall. I'm like, I want to be next to all these people, and the owner had left, and I think he was mad about me kind of roasting him a little bit about going nuts on the audience member, and I go, "Can I sign the wall?" And the lady that was there was like, "I don't think so." They wouldn't let me sign the wall. They were
Well,
like, "They're
my guess was going to be the Comedy Castle because I know they're real strict about signing the wall there. But now that you
no."
said the owner was there, I'm going to guess Mark doesn't get out to the club much. So, and so where? You just tell me where.
I'll tell you afterwards. I don't want to put no dirt in the streets, but
Why not? Who cares?
oh yeah, I mean, I think the guy's on steroids. If that gives you any kind of maybe some hormone therapy replacement, HDR. I think because I don't know why you get so geeked up with somebody like, yeah, if they're vaping, hey man, don't don't vape, you know,
Right.
take it easy. But to yell at them like through the, in front of everybody, like embarrass them, like they're like scolding them like they're a child, you know what I mean? Like,
I have a story about that, dude. So we announced it before the show, no smoking or vaping. You know, obviously vapes are included in that, and we had some awful heckler lady that she just wouldn't shut up, so we had to kick her out. And when we kicked her out, she said, "Well, I was only breaking a rule. How come?" She points to me. She goes, "How come he gets to vape in the back of the room?" Which, dude, I kind of was. I mean, I was vaping in the back of the room, and
uh,
she like called me out on it, and I'm like, I don't know, because I'm one of the employees here. I don't know. I
you got to
tried to
kick yourself
justify it.
out.
Mike, my door guy's like, "I hope you know you can't vape in the room anymore." I go, "Whatever, dick." I'm like,
That's hard to
yeah, Mike doesn't like it. Mike, we had a private event here one day. I guess it was Saturday morning, going into the afternoon on this past Saturday, and somebody was vaping in the room, and Mike went nuts, man. He doesn't like
yeah,
it. He
he
kicked
was,
him out. He tried kicking him out and stuff. It was actually a celebration of life, so we didn't technically kick him out.
oh
It
no,
was
at
like,
Norm's funeral.
no, it wasn't Norm's. No, it
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be terrible at Norm's funeral. Which is another subject we can touch on. I think a lot of comics watch this. You guys hosted one hell of a celebration of life at your club for
Yeah,
Norm.
yeah. Were you? I forget. Did you come? There's so many people here. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was there, and I watched a lot of touching speeches by the comics. I mean, Tim
yeah,
Finkel and Cam Rowe.
yeah.
Um,
God, Cam was great, wasn't he?
Cam killed it. I was like,
Ah,
wouldn't want to follow that
I
because he was
know.
on fire.
Yeah.
I'm
And then
at a funeral.
Tim made me cry like an idiot. I mean, it was terrible. It was rough, 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 rough.
Well, and this is actually the thing I took most from Norm's celebration of life was, you think of all the achievements he had, Showtime and Bob and Tom, one of the greatest storytelling comedians of all time,
Yeah.
and not one person mentioned his credits all night. All they talked about was how good of a family man he was, how he cared about his friends, and what kind of a loving person he was. And
Yeah.
that was really beautiful. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful because sometimes you can get caught up in, getting that Netflix credit or this is what I want of this, and then when
Yeah.
it's all said and done, people just remember how you treated them, and I
Yeah.
thought that was really beautiful.
He was one of my mentors when I started. I started in '86, and he had been doing it since, I want to say, '80. And so he was like one of the big headliners in town. It was like, Tim Allen, Dave Coulier, Tom Sharp, Mike Binder, and Norm. I mean, those were Darwin Hines, a couple other guys, but I mean, those were the big headliners in town. And he took me, got me gigs, helped me get gigs and stuff. Oh, and Jeff Hobson, those were other guys that were kind of big then. And he took me on the road and got me gigs and talked to me a lot about stand up and a lot about, just how to handle yourself in the business and how to handle yourself on stage. And, he was one of the good ones, man.
Yeah, I love Norm. And another thing that I found out about Norm, and I did not know about, was that he originally was a guitar comic,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
I didn't know that. That
yeah.
tickled me a little bit.
Well, it's funny. I heard that, but I had never seen it. He was a full blown stand up when I met him. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
hilarious. Full blown stand up.
Unlike
Chuck's here.
the guitar kind of stand ups. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
whatever I'm doing up there. The
Uh,
funny stories. Thanks for watching, Juan. I appreciate you.
Well, yeah, I mean, you do stand up for the first 30 minutes or something, or
Two
20.
mics, one video. Yeah, yeah. I do. Um, Basically that's my set. I do like the first 30 minutes, stand up, a little bit of crowd work, and then the last 15 do some songs and
Yeah,
call it a night. Tuck everybody in.
that's it.
Yeah, put them to bed. Say, oh,
That's
thanks for
it.
coming. Hey, did we?
Good thing we didn't just put our last name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even really put our names on here. I mean,
Oh, good.
I don't even
Yeah,
know how to do that.
it
But
would
people
say
are
green balls.
Head Richards, two mics, one video. What's up, Head? Uh,
What's up, head?
Head's in the house.
My
We
fishing
seen
buddy.
he just did a celebrity softball game. We see you out there working, Head.
Man,
Uh,
every time I see him, he's with like the president. He's got pictures like I'm like, how do you know George Bush?
yeah, what? Yeah, Head Richards is like the most connected opening act I've ever seen in my
He,
life.
he really is. Yeah,
When he was here, he took me to a baseball game.
yeah,
He worked for a pitcher on the Detroit Tigers.
yeah.
We're going in
Derek
right
Holland.
behind home
Yeah,
base.
yeah. He works with Derek Holland. I think he's his assistant, his personal assistant.
Dude, I mean, yeah, look at you can see in his profile picture, he's holding the Stanley Cup. Like,
Yeah,
what
right.
this guy has got a PhD in just getting everywhere. He just knows everybody.
You're right, man.
Um,
Yeah, and he's the nicest guy. He got.
oh, he's
We went fishing on a private lake on the Pine Lake out here, where you can't get on that lake. He got me on this private lake, and we went fishing and stuff. He's a good dude.
he's giving you credit. Your start was at one night stands. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
You're not going to talk about Mayo when I put you on stage in the big city of Mayo, Michigan? What the
Mayo.
heck? Mayo? You're not going to talk about that? Ronnie Rohrbeck, shout out future comedy show regular, looking like a complete stud in his cowboy hat there. Giddy up. He could probably help you out with those the cow the cow fundraiser.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta figure out which charity I'm picking.
Wa-
I'm leaning towards the cows.
I think you should.
I
Juan
owe
said,
them from all the nights went out tipping them.
Juan says, I've always aspired to be a comedian after watching Robin Williams and Jim Carrey. Don't you, do you have a class still going on at One Night Stands or?
Yeah, I teach a class, but it's advanced. It's for comics that are already working.
Okay.
Like I
Okay.
don't I don't think you
Well,
can make people funny. Like I feel like you either are or you aren't. So
yeah.
once they decide that they are, then I take over from there. I could teach you a lot, you know. But I'm not a big fan of this, you know, coddling people and getting them on stage in front of their friends and family. And I feel like if you really have it in your heart, you should figure out a way to do it on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Does that make
It,
sense or no? I mean, is that shitty?
Well, no, I mean there's different people for I mean it's because I like your mindset, and it's kind of similar to like Mitzi Shore, the world famous owner of the Comedy Store, rest in peace. But she was quoted as saying, "Don't even encourage mediocre talent because they're taking up stage time from the guys that should have it, and girls."
Right,
Um, and she was at the highest level, seeing
right,
the most talented people in the world. But
right.
you kind of had the same thing. It's like if you can't work on it.
Dude, when I started in '86, there was probably maybe 30 clubs in the country and maybe 200 comedians in the country. You know, and you compare that to now. I mean, there's probably there's probably 100,000 people who say they're comedians now.
Oh yeah,
I was on the phone. I was on the phone like I had a problem with my cable company, and I was on the phone, and the girl's like, "Well, what's your email address?" And I give her my email address, which is it has the word comedian in it. So I'm like, it's Mag Comedian, blah blah
oh,
blah, and
Mike, you're not supposed to put this online, dude.
I I didn't say the
You're
rest.
about to get blown up.
Well, they're gonna have to guess what server,
Okay, yeah.
and like I said, it's MAG Comedian or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, you're a comedian?" And I go, "Yeah, here we go with the questions." And she's like, "Yeah, me too." So anyway, I'm like, come on. Even my cable service lady's a comedian. So,
uh, yeah. Everybody wants to be a comedian. That's
yeah.
hilarious. That's fantastic.
Dude,
What
I have a great story about getting recognized. Let me tell you this great story. You have a minute? I'm not
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
running you over. Okay, good. Uh, so I fish all the time. It's my favorite pastime. It's my hobby. My brother and I, we travel a couple times a year. We'll go to where the pros are fishing, the Elite Series, and we go down and fish with the lake where they're fishing. It's a cool sport because it's the only sport where you can go and do compete while the fish while the pros are fishing on the same lake in the same venue. You can't play football on
Next to him.
on
Yeah.
Ford Field, or you don't get to play baseball at Comerica Park, but you can fish where the pros are fishing. So we go down a couple times a year. We'll go fish where they're fishing. All that being said, Super Bowl Sunday last year, my brother and I are in Florida, Lake Okeechobee. We're watching the pros fish, and at night we went to eat, and we're out to eat in this bar restaurant, and in walks like five of the best fishermen in the world. You wouldn't even know who they were, right? You wouldn't
Yeah.
know. But me and my brother, like my brother's goofy, right? So he's like, "Oh my god, dude, I gotta get their autograph. I don't care what we do. I want to get a picture with them." And I go, "Bruce, whatever you do, man, leave them alone. They're eating dinner. Don't bug them, right?" I go, "You're a grown man. You're not gonna go over there and ask them for a picture." So I tell him it's Super Bowl Sunday. Leave them alone. Maybe 5 minutes later, one of them, his name's Matt Robertson. He's like the party guy. He's like the funny party guy in the group. He comes over and he goes, "Excuse me, are you Mike Green?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Dude, you're my favorite comedian. I've sent your videos over to these guys. I love you so much. I can't believe it's you. I told them it was you. They didn't believe me. Can we get a picture with you?"
That's hilarious.
Dude, I'm like, I go, you gotta be kidding me. So I wanted to be like, dude, be an adult. You're a grown man. You're not taking a picture. I
Was
took
your
a
brother
picture with
was your brother pretty smitten? Did he get his picture?
my brother. Got his picture, man. We took a picture with him.
Look at you. You're
Yeah,
hooking it up for him.
yeah.
Show business, baby.
I never get recognized anywhere, dude. I did the Jerry Lewis telethon with 45 million viewers, and nobody ever recognized me from it. Not one person ever said, "Hey, I saw you on Jerry Lewis telethon." But
That's a lot of viewers.
that guy knew me. Yeah, it was crazy. It was when it was real popular, when the show was huge.
That thinking about that fishing, that sounds like a great comedy movie about fishing the sport. I feel like there hasn't really been a a
Oh,
real
oh,
good comedy movie
oh,
about
yeah.
fishing.
Because there's bowling ones and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
bowling, golf,
Well,
football.
I don't know if I told you, but my idea is I'm gonna do a YouTube show where I take comedians fishing and I show them how to fish and stuff, and I'll show some clips of their stand up and teach them how to fish and hopefully catch some fish together and stuff. But
Yeah,
I
that sounds
do
like
it over.
a good idea.
Yeah, I'm doing it next summer. I'm going to shoot it next summer because I only do the class every other year, so I'm probably going to do the show every other year.
Yeah, that's smart. Shoot a few episodes, get them in the canon,
Yeah, yeah,
get them ready to rock and roll. Yeah,
that's right.
fishing's fun. I don't know. It's a fishing's fun, especially if you're in the ocean when you're catching some big mama jamas and you're about to eat those bad
I've
boys, about
done
to
that.
throw them on the grill.
Yeah, I've done that, man. It's exhausting. I'm too old for that crap. I get tired. My arms get sore. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm 60, man.
I like the type of fishing where you go to the lake and then you throw some bread in the water and then you take your little net and you catch them.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a Rathke Park, man. I used to catch fish there all the time like that.
so
Um, Once again, if you guys are watching, you're sitting here going, "Man, where's this one night stands comedy club? It's in Waterford." Get oh, I didn't even type that in right. One night stands. Let me edit that. One night one night stands
got
club.com. There we
club.
go.
Yeah. One night
There we
stand.
go.
Got club.
I'll be there this weekend. Four
Yeah, for
shows
all
Thursday,
your
Friday, Saturday.
get your Mike Ball tickets now.
Yeah, and if you don't want to
That's
see
what
me,
this
you
is
could.
all about.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're shooting the shit. We'll promote the club, and I think they they probably know that I'm gonna be there, right? Come and see me. It'll be a great show. Kara Karachi's hilarious. Jimmy's hilarious. Mike Green might be doing a guest spot. You never know. He just pops in sometimes,
No,
and dude, he's about to be on Netflix. See him before he's famous, dude. He's
I'm
about to
not
be.
being. I'm not gonna be famous, dude. I'm long past that.
Well, don't you think? What about like Rodney Dangerfield? You know what I mean? Wasn't he
Yeah,
like
yeah.
didn't
He
he
got famous. He got famous late in life. Yeah, yeah.
that could be you. You never know. You come up with this fishing movie, this comedy fishing movie we're putting
Yeah,
together,
that's
you
right.
know?
I know. Here's my movie idea. Tell me what you think. Fat vampire. All these other vampires have always been like skinny, thin, handsome, young guys. Not fat vampire. He's fat.
He's just eating good all the time.
That's all I got so far. It's a work in
Yeah.
progress.
I like that. I like
All I
that.
know, he's got to break into the blood bank because he can't chase down any humans. He's too fat.
And no girls are falling for him either. Like they're just
People,
not.
yeah, his name's Morty, and people, yeah, doesn't have any chicks, just
He just
fat.
sits. He just sits there scrolling camel toe videos on Facebook Reels all day. Yeah, I see that.
Camel toe, man.
Are
It's
you seeing
hilarious.
those on there,
Is that
Mike?
it? No, no. Now it's gonna be in
Oh
my
no.
feed now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. They've actually came out of my feed. They used to be in there for a long time, and now they're
You know what
missing.
though? I do got this chick that shows up, and I don't know. Like she was on like this wheel thing. It's like you stand on it, and it doesn't have like handlebars or anything. You just stand on it. It's like a skateboard with wheels on the side, and she like leans forward, and her butt jiggles when she and I thought the thing she was on was cool, so I watched the whole video.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
it pops up all the time. I'm
yeah.
embarrassed. I'm like,
Uh,
how do I get rid of it? How do I get her out of my algorithm?
Yeah, they say the camel toe videos were my algorithm for a minute, and then it got
Uh,
so deep. It got so deep. I got to like breastfeeding videos. I'm
what, the
like, what
camel
is
toes got so
happening?
deep?
Yeah, the camel toe, the crevice was huge, and then like literally they seen that I was watching them because I wouldn't like them because I wouldn't want anybody to know I'm liking that kind of stuff.
Of
But
course.
just even if you watch them, they stay in your algorithm,
Right.
and then it went to breastfeeding videos, and I'm like, oh, I've gone too far. I'm too far.
Oh, I've
I'm
gone too far.
I'm
That's
too
great.
far into the algorithm.
That's right.
Um. Mike, we've done our time, and maybe just a bonus question. What got you into comedy when you started back in the day? Like, what was your
Yeah.
driving force?
Well, I was a funny kid, man. I was really funny in school, and like everybody used to tell me it. I have a yearbook from seventh grade where this girl wrote that I was going to be a famous comedian someday, and like I remember there was a teacher in math class. Like, let's say I think it was like eighth grade, seventh or eighth grade, and I was eating a Reese's peanut butter cup. It was after lunch, and I was eating it. And he was like, "Mr. Green, if you don't have enough for everybody, you can't bring it to class anymore." And I was like, "All right, I get it. It made sense." But like a month later, we're same class. We're all sitting there. His wife comes in, and he introduces her. And I told him, I go, Mr. Seeger, it's not polite to bring. If you don't have enough for everybody, you shouldn't allow her
Yeah.
to come visit you. And he's like, get out, get out. My classmates are all laughing. I mean, it was just, I, I would get like this feeling. I'm sure you've had it where, as a kid, I would get like this feeling in my stomach where I knew something was going to be funny if I said it, right? And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
I couldn't not say it. That's all. I just couldn't. Well, every year, my ninth grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade, I was voted class clown in my yearbook, and then the person who was class clown got to MC the talent show at the end of the year. So I would write jokes and I would do stand up and introduce. I would MC the show. Well, my senior year, I didn't win class clown. Another guy did. This other guy, a jock, and I was like, this guy's not even funny. But he would like get up in front of he would get up in front of the crowd on Friday nights for the football games and get everybody cheering and they thought that was funny. Anyway, so years later, like maybe 6 years after high school, I ran into the guy and I go, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm selling Xerox machines." He's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm doing stand up comedy." And he goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, I read about that in the paper. I saw you in the paper." And I was like, "Cool. Could you make me a copy of that?" That's what I told him. And I I told Mitch Fatel that story. You know Mitch?
I've actually seen his clips on your
Yeah,
pre-show like
yeah.
video that you do.
Mitch is one of my best buddies. He's I've known him for I don't know 20 years. I used to open for him in Vegas until I headlined, and but he was one of my pals, and he was at my wedding and stuff like that. And but so I told Mitch that story. And he's like, "Hey, if you're not telling that story, can I have it?" I go, "Yeah." So it's on that story's on one of his comedy specials, one of Mitch's. But
Really?
yeah,
That's awesome. You got a
yeah.
little credit, a little writing credit.
Nope, no writing credit. Just I just know I wrote it, and he knows I wrote it.
He knows. He
You know,
knows. Isn't that like the best like retribution or like karma coming back that this guy stole your title and later on in life you're like you're not really doing a funny job.
right?
But you never know. In the office he could be winning funniest
Yeah, he's
Xerox
probably the
salesman.
funniest Xerox salesman there is
Yeah, you never know. But
until
he's
Xerox went
watching
out of
this.
business.
Oh yeah, I wonder what he got into. We should call him up and see how he's
I'm
doing.
gonna give him a call and be like, "What are you doing now?"
I gotta update this joke.
I'm still in comedy.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. Just to see how he's doing. But hey, man, I thought this was a productive episode. I had fun talking to you. A lot of good stories. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, come see Mike Ball this weekend. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The shows are 7:30 on Thursday, 7 on Friday, and I think we have a 7 and 9:30 on Saturday.
Perfect, perfect. I'll get off here and I'll tag you in in the comments, and you can share them. I'll tag one night stands as well.
You
Hey,
should.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Always love talking to you. I'll see you this weekend.
See you, brother.
Later, Mike.